Hi guys, we're back. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Abby Joe. Today we are going to talk about why I got out of the wedding industry and why, which is a really interesting topic. And it's an exciting one too. So I'm going to kind of just dive into that a little bit and tell you guys how I got where I am right now and why I decided to leave the wedding industry, and all that good stuff. But right off the bat, I'm just excited you guys are here if you're watching. If you're new here, hi, my name's Abby Joe. I am a photographer based in San Diego, and I've been doing this for about, I've been doing it for a long time, but I've started, well, we won't get into that. We'll do that for another episode. That'll be a story time of how we'll do a whole photography story episode. But basically, my business has been running for about 6 years now, officially. But so excited. So let's just dive in. I think this is an interesting topic for a lot of people because I've talked to, at least in the last I want to say like last 6 months-ish, I've talked to a lot of photographers who are either in the same boat or they were in the same boat, and all that good stuff. So they were kind of like wanting out of the wedding industry, but weren't really sure how to get out, and stuff like that. So I was also in that boat, started jumping into that boat, back in between like October, November, December of 2021, I started to really feel just kind of like stuck in a rut when it came to weddings. And I just want to preface all this by like, I still very much so enjoy the joy of like capturing weddings. Like that is such a special job, and I have been so honored to capture so many people's most important days of their lives. Like it's just so cool, and it's really, really awesome. But it definitely takes a very specific kind of person to do that job and stay in that job. So I feel like it's pretty typical for photographers to get to their 5-year mark and then kind of you either reevaluate where you're at and you want to change kind of the direction you're going, or you're going to be like, this is where I'm supposed to be forever, and you're diehard wedding photographer like for the rest of your life, which is awesome. So I just don't think that that's me. I always knew that wasn't going to be me. Back in, I would say like going into high school, I mean, I'll give a little bit backstory. Like going into college from high school, I really wanted to do video and was really interested in video and wanted to do the film program at Biola University. But then I realized like how hard it was to get into that program and was like, well, I know photography so much better because I did like lots of photography stuff in high school. And I was like, it'll just be way easier for me to jump into college if I do what I already know how to do. And so I did photography and went that route. And when I was in college, I like started doing a lot of GoPro stuff. If anybody remembers like the GoPro era of like everyone wanting to, I don't know, maybe not everyone, but at least for me, I wanted to get featured by GoPro all the time. I like was constantly making video content with it and like doing a lot of photos with it that are like kind of action shots, nature shots, whatever. Nothing super crazy, but like I just would take it whenever I could, whenever I was kind of like doing stuff outside. And I like, well, I'm really kind of rabbit trailing on that, but that's kind of like, I was like in my mind, like freshman year of college, I was like, I want to work for GoPro. Like I want to be a GoPro photographer or like work for them and edit or do whatever, like curate. I don't even know of what I wanted to do, but I wanted to work for a big company like that. And then I got to like sophomore year and I was like, oh, I really want to work for like Patagonia or something like that and be like a photo editor. I really enjoyed color correction when I was in college. Not that I was good at it back in the day, but I thought I was. But I mean, I learned a little bit about that while I was in college, and I definitely like saw myself working for like a big company, a big brand of some sort one day, but then that kind of changed as soon as I started doing weddings. And I started doing weddings when I was sophomore in college. I started doing weddings, and I like shot my very first wedding by myself in 2017. It was literally on New Year's Day, so like literally the first day of 2017. And I second shot a wedding when I was in high school for a family friend, but I had shot my very first wedding by myself in 2017. So from there, my business kind of started to build. I started getting more weddings and going to a Christian university, clientele is popping. A lot of people are getting married young at college. And so I got a lot of weddings from just students that were getting married and stuff in school. And then they would refer me to their friends and stuff that were either a part of or outside of our community there. And that was great. Got tons of experience with that. Started second shooting more for other people. And by the time senior year hit, I was already kind of in between, I guess I was getting not consistent clientele when it came to weddings and couples and families and whatever, all that stuff. But I was doing it enough to where I was okay, I think this is going to be my launching pad once I graduate. So I graduated and really went full speed ahead. But before that, I actually took a job with Hume Lake Christian Camps, and was the camp photographer for Hume San Diego. So I had lived in San Diego for a couple of weeks that summer of 2019, shooting for a VBS kids camp, summer camp thing. And that was super fun. Camp photography is definitely not my strong suit, nor is it my passion, but it was a really fun experience. Met a lot of really cool people. That was honestly one of the best summers of my life. I always talk about that summer and just how fun it was. But yeah, so I had done that, and then I moved home and was that was when I officially moved home. I was done with college. I was single. I was just okay, so what do I do now? And so that's when I was all right. Well, and I was still getting weddings, and so I was okay, I think it's time to go, just full speed ahead with weddings, full speed ahead with couples, portraits, and things like that, and just do it and go for it. And so I did, and I think the very beginning of 2020, I went to my first photography retreat, where I could capture all these elopement styled shoots and weddings and couples and things like that. And that launched me even further into that. And so I was doing that for a while. And so since 2017, that's been 5, and now this year, by the end of this year, it will be 6 years of photographing weddings and couples and portraits and things like that. And it's been great. It's been so fun. But I think at the end of 2021, I just got to a breaking point where I was just man, I just don't know if I can keep going in this, because the wedding industry is a hard industry to be in. It's great. It's amazing. It is such a fruitful, joyful job getting to work with such amazing couples, but it also is the behind the scenes and all the stuff you don't see is really hard too. And I also just got so exhausted, shooting, 9 to 10 hour wedding days. That's just so exhausting. And my body is it's taken a toll on my body, and I just have always had a bad back. I've had a little bit of scoliosis and just back problems and stuff like that. And so going home from weddings has always been just so painful. I go home in pain. It's just a painful job carrying around your equipment all day, being in really hot summer heat, for summer weddings and, all that stuff. It can be really strenuous on your body. And so I got to the point where I was just I just don't think I can do this anymore. It's just so exhausting. And the pressure is there too, there's tons of pressure being a wedding photographer. You got to make sure you don't miss a moment as much as you can. You can only control so much, but, you do your best to have that, pressure on you and do well under that pressure. And so that can be hard. And it's a lot when you're doing that all the time. And so I just got to the point where I was I would just love to try something new. I would love to get back on the track that I was originally on of wanting to get into brand photography and all that stuff. And I also forgot to mention, back in my junior year of college, I had started tapping into brand photography because I had some friends that were doing that, and they let me come on and start trying to do product photography with apparel and jewelry and things like that, and I loved it. I got so pumped about it, and I was oh my gosh, okay, this could definitely be something that I do someday. I want to do this. But it's so hard to get into that, especially back then when it was way harder to be seen by brands and get your work seen and get your name out there. That's just so hard right out of college, especially 5 years back when social media wasn't as advanced, I guess I would say. But now it's so much easier. There's more of a technique to it, I guess. if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like there is. I feel like there's way more of like strategy to it that people have developed that is much easier than it was 5 years ago. So coming into 2022, I've just been like, okay, like I want to try this. I want to do more of this. So I started doing that and I love it. I went to a styled shoot that was like kind of centered around brands, and that was a really good portfolio builder for me, which I recommend doing if you want to get into any type of work. Styled shoots, it's the way to go. But yeah, I mean, it just was so fun, and I just like have realized that I am super passionate about that. I love capturing brands. I love bringing visions to life, and I've loved doing that for business owners too. I get a lot of like other photographers, other designers, influencers and people like that who have like a personal brand and that they want branding photos for, and I've done a lot of that in the last year, and I love it. Like, it's so freaking fun. It's so fun. And I also have like, I'm sure you've noticed if you follow me on Instagram, I have niched really freaking hard into beach lifestyle photography. Since we moved to San Diego, I just went for it. I don't know. I just like started diving really hard into beach lifestyle, and I love the beach. I just have been falling in love with it so much since we moved here. And I feel like that has just become a big part of my style, and is something that I just love. Like, it just makes me so happy. I feel very passionate about the style that I'm creating, and so have found that that's been really helpful for me getting into branding, because the more niched I've gotten, the more specific I've gotten with the type of clients that I want to work with, and it's worked really well for me so far. I've been really pleasantly surprised with just the ways that I've been able to find opportunities with that style that I've niched into. So it's really cool. I'm really excited. So that's kind of like a little overview of like where I started, how I got there, how I stopped, and like where I'm going now. So I still have like 6 more weddings to finish this year, and I'm definitely very excited for them because they're really fun weddings. But I'm just like I don't think I'm gonna take any more for 2023. I don't think I'm gonna do anymore unless for some crazy reason I like felt, a tug on my heart to like take another wedding, or I missed it or something. But for now, I know for sure I don't want to take any more for at least the unforeseeable future, which I know probably makes some people sad out there. I do still get inquiries for weddings, and even small weddings and stuff like that, but I just have to follow my heart with this. If I'm not doing something that I'm passionate about, it's really hard for me to do it like with my full heart. And so I just like don't think it's beneficial to like future clients if I'm not giving my full heart to them in that process, when there's so many other people who are so excited and passionate about it. And I still get excited about it. I'm very excited for all the weddings I had this year, and my clients are just so great. But it's just one of those things that is just, I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. But I would love to know. I want you guys to comment below and tell me how long, if you've been doing weddings, how long have you been doing it? If you are a photographer, like, do you see yourself doing weddings forever, or do you see yourself trying branding like I'm doing, or whatever? I'm just curious. I'm curious to know like where you guys are at, so I kind of get a gauge on like who my audience is. But I love, if you're a wedding photographer and you're like watching my stuff, like, welcome in. Like, I want you here. Like, I want you to be a part of this, because just because I'm not doing weddings anymore or taking weddings anymore doesn't mean I don't want like wedding photographers like in my community. And so I want people from everywhere. I want all of y'all up in this place. So I'm just like saying weird things, but that's pretty much it. So anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Help a girl out. It's okay though if you don't want to. Not everybody is a big YouTube watcher. I'm not a very big YouTube watcher, so I get it if you're like, whatever. But I will see you guys later for the next video.